I may get up there, speak, then I sit down and I drink plenty of water. I'm going to calm my nerve down. And then they can only get better, but it doesn't get better. I just drink more water, you know, that's why here I am, I got plenty of water. Until I have ownership of the stress, there's nothing I can do. Love your stress, love your problem. You have ownership, you can solve the problem. Didn't have the confidence, you know, because he never built the confidence as a little, never. So missed out again. And then got married, think, oh yeah, that's okay, we'll all go away. It was only until I saw my kids experiencing the same pain, they did not dare to put up their hand. And that's when I said, I need to do something. I miss out a lot in class because I didn't have the confidence to put up my hand. I only put up my hand here. And then when you put up your hand here, nobody could see you. And there's no one to say, come on, kids, put your hand high up, you know. And I never participate, and I always miss out. So when I develop my own confidence, I see the change in my own children. And when I see the change in my own children, they dare to express themselves. And I thought, gee, it's only just start with one person making a difference to one kid. So imagine if I can do this for other children, what could it be like? And that's how we got started. The initial thoughts can be scary. But when you're speaking of a subject matter that is passionate, there's no room for fear. It's only passion. When you don't have that, you spend all that energy being so stuck and being fearful. And always anticipating, oh, what they're going to ask me, and then unnecessarily building their own stress. The people that are stressed, they're more concerned about their fear. They're more concerned about their fear. So they'll be anticipating how I'm so scared, I'm so worried, what am I going to say? They're always watching how it's going to appear for them. Whereas when somebody that is coming from a passion, they only want to share all their breakthrough. They want to share what the difference they can make. They want to say, how I can help you, Tom, how I can help the other person. They're no longer about themselves. And when they're no longer about themselves, there is no more fear or stress anymore. Everything is all put aside. It's like, how could I help you to get this program out? How could I turn this whole conversation to serve you? So that all in itself is very interconnected. The adults will just compound it. They don't do it as kids. They only compound and make it harder for themselves. Everyone gets to do a role. And that's how you build your confidence comes from taking action.
Depending on the person, the way how you help them under the stress is different.
Emotional stress sometimes can really disabilitate me from doing the things I want to do. And when they put on a mask, over time, it's the body that will take the punishment of not learning the skill. Teach them at very foundation level how to build up that resilience and have the confidence to express themselves. By having a voice, you already have an outlet. You're no longer in your head. You come from your heart, so you have an outlet of expressing. Who likes storytelling? So they all love storytelling versus, you're going to get up there and do a speech. We're going to do a speech. Oh my God. But if it's a story, they can. To build resilience, first of all, they need to have the confidence to express themselves. Mm-hmm. They should be able to go to their parents and say, Mom, I'm frightened. Dad, I'm scared. They will only build up blocks, not resilient. There's a big difference. Blocks is just a shut out. I deny I have this problem. Resilient is saying that I can do that. It's okay to express themselves. No one is judged. Everyone is supported and encouraged. So that is the level we create a safe space for them. But whether they have it at home is a slightly different environment. First of all, the kids have to feel safe. Then they're going to be encouraged. And when they're encouraged, then they will tippy-toe out to slowly build their courage. Then when they have the courage and not judge, it will reinforce their faith to say, I can give this speaking up a go. And that's their first step.
Providing that safe space in a controlled environment so the youth can train their muscles, let's say, to build up that confidence. So by the time they get back home, they already have this certainty and encouragement. So they're more likely to actually bring it back home as well.
Through the 8 weeks, by the time you come to the 4th and the 5th week, that's when the quiet ones start to come through.
It takes time for different people to catch up to the program in different paces, different speeds. You mentioned 4 or 5 weeks till the shy ones start opening up.
Public speaking, how to develop my own confidence.
When people are stressed, they're basically stuck in their head, they're worrying about themselves. And as soon as you get them to shift the focus and attention to people around them, ask for support, or just being among the other people, or seeing that other people are also as scared as they are, they kind of see the different perspective.
And then they forget they have to do. And before you know, I identify all the things they're great at. They say, oh, I didn't think of that. And so that helps to ease that tension. So we then give them feedback. Then they say, oh, is that what stories? Is that what the speech is all about? So then they know how to think about it next time they do a second speech.
Make these associations between what does it mean to have a speech, what does it mean to have a story, and just starting with this really small thing.
Because I've done so much work, by saying to love your stress is I take responsibility for the stress that I have on myself. I then have the power to change it. I then have the power to say, how do I want to accumulate more? Do I want to have more added on? Or how could I do things differently? Because when you can love your stress, you can take ownership. So I think anybody that has stress should come and see you, because you can help them to overcome that, Tom. So thank you so much, Tom. Appreciate it.
Hi everyone, my name is Toms. This is Love Your Stress podcast. And today we have a guest, Aileen. And she's really passionate about building confidence and resilience in youth. And I let her to introduce herself. So Aileen, tell me, what do you want to be known for?
Well, thanks, Tom, for inviting me. What I want to be known for is that there's many facets of me. There's me as a mom, there's me as a wife, there's me as a trainer, there's me as a coach, there's me as a business owner, there's me as an entrepreneur. So there's many parts of me. And I think with the area that you are in stress, each area has a different level of stress. Yeah. So that's a little bit about I am everything. But I think of late, what I really want to focus is about helping youth to build their resilience and the confidence, for the youth to have a voice, for them to be seen and heard, and for them to build up their confidence so that they can be a stand, not only for themselves, but for other people. And I think for you, there's an area, if they don't have the confidence, they will build up stress, and when they have stress, they shut down. And I think there's probably an area that I probably would like to spend a bit of time in talking about this area, helping you, and how I, as a you, went through without confidence. So I think that would be an area we can expand on.
Yeah, sounds great. And when you were talking about those many facets, it kind of reminded me of Leonardo da Vinci, also known for many things, and overall just being known as a really great man. And I think that's kind of your answer to this question. You want to be known for all of those things, and most of all, probably helping the youth from different angles, from different aspects, like helping youth as a mom, helping youth as a businesswoman, helping youth as a coach. So is that right?
Yes, absolutely. Because there's so many facets of us that make make us as a person, and we see it from different angles, different lenses, and we have different level of empathy and expectations. So if I'm as a mom, I have a different expectation on my own youth. But if I'm a teacher, I have a different expectation. So when we have expectation, we put pressure on ourselves as well on the people around us. So all this create stress. And you want to talk, and I'm willing to be learning things off you, Tom.
Yeah, that sounds great. And before we dive into the stress and youth, I always like to start the podcast with getting on the same page. And I would love for you to define what is stress for you in your own words. How you would define
stress? What is stress for me? Stress, I think there's many levels. I think there's the stress that generally we feel is the physical stress. And there is the stress, emotional stress, and a spiritual stress. And I think maybe I'll talk about the emotional stress first, because the emotional stress is an area where I would feel very anxious. When I feel that even the thought of wanting to do something, there's a level of fear. There's a level of concern. There's a level of people wanting to judge me. And I do not know how to speak and articulate clearly. That emotional stress sometimes can really disabilitate me from doing the things I want to do. And I think that is something I probably can resonate a lot with a lot of young people. That's an emotional stress. Another type of stress is a stress where you feel it so much on your body. And even sometimes you just feel like you're closing in. And even trying to stand up and speak, you feel that you have to push yourself. So that's another level of physical stress. And I think the other type where it's a little bit spiritual is, I think that I had experienced that's when I felt very burnout. That spiritual stress is when I'm so burnt out. There's no more reserve. There's no more reserve. And it takes so much to build up. And so there is many levels of stress factors. And again, depending on the person, where they're at, is how we can help them. Yeah.
I really love your answer here that stress is in many levels. And this kind of really segues into the next question. As you said, depending on the person, the way how you help them under the stress is different. And the question is, do you see the stress for youth and stress for adults as being something different?
Well, I think if the youth level do not understand how to manage their anxiety at the first level, then all they will do is that they will put a front. They put a front. They do not teach the skill. They do not teach the skill of how to navigate or how to prep themselves, give themselves the resilience, give them the skill, their own tool to how to transform their own stress and anxiety. Then as you grow older, as you become, whether you become a worker, you become a parent, you become a boss, and all you do is that you're compounding something that you have not learned, a skill that you have not learned, then it will just become worse because they will just put on a mask. And when they put on a mask, over time, it's the body that will take the punishment of not learning the skill. So it is important. That's why with this program that I'm going out, is to teach the primary school level, teach them at very foundation level, how to build up that resilience and have the confidence to express themselves. Hope that helps answer the questions about whether there's a difference between younger people or older people. There's absolutely, the adults will just compound it. they don't do it as kids, they only compound and make it harder for themselves.
So what would be the advice for the youth to do? What's the first step you teach to build that resilience?
Well, to build resilience, first of all, they need to have the confidence to express themselves. They should be able to go to their parents and say, Mom, I'm frightened. Dad, I'm scared. There's somebody is teasing me. There's somebody that is upsetting me, that is frightening me. They need to have that voice to be able to go home in a safe space to talk to their parents or to talk to their carer, talk to their teacher. If they don't have that voice, that confidence to do that, they will just pretend, they will shut it down, they will push it out. They will disconnect with that. And so they will never be able, they will only build up blocks, not resilient. There's a big difference. Blocks is just a shut out. I deny I have this problem. Resilient is saying that I can do that. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be think. I will just get stronger and stronger. And this, you need the encouragement of adults to teach the kids. If the kids are not taught at this level, it's very hard for them to know that it's okay to express themselves.
I also believe that expressing is a big part of it, and also it takes a bit of courage to actually express yourself, because there usually comes all kinds of expectations, fears, doubts. And what is your approach? How do you encourage the youth to be able to have that faith in themselves, first of all, and confidence, and also having faith that their parents have their best interest in mind as well?
Good question, Tom. How do the kids have faith and also the courage to speak up here? Well, if they don't come from if they don't come from an environment of learning even to express themselves, because not all kids have the fluency of language. And if they don't have an environment where they could express themselves or encourage to speak, they would just mumble, yep, and then you ask them anything, yep. They will not learn to express. So the program that we teach at school is learning them to express themselves. And so we teach them to stand up and starting with a few words. And we encourage everybody, no one is judged, everyone is supported and encouraged. So that is the level we create a safe space for them. But whether they have it at home is a slightly different environment. The parents are different, but we can only create these for the kids that we come into contact, and how we can expand this program further with many schools. And then we teach the trainers, and the trainers can see this appropriate. They can expand it and train it in other of their environment. So that's how, so that for them to feel safe, first of all, the kids have to feel safe. Then they're going to be encouraged. And when they're encouraged, then they will tippy-toe out to slowly build their courage. Then when they have the courage and not judge, it will reinforce their faith to say, I can give this speaking up a go. And that's their first step. Yeah.
Yeah, I really loved your answer, how you said that what you're doing is providing that safe space in a controlled environment so the youth can train their muscles, let's say, to build up that confidence. So by the time they get back home, they already have this certainty and encouragement. So they're more likely to actually bring it back home as well. So.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. And we do this in the 8 weeks program, where the 8 weeks program, it is a program where all the kids get the chance to speak. I'm sure you've been in school where the confident kids, where the brighter kid, they are the one that constantly will put up their hand to participate in activities. And the quiet and the shy one will be the one that just try and get disappeared. And even if they dare to do it, they put their hand where nobody can see. But with our program is that they may say, I want to do this role. Good. Have you done this role yet? No. Have you done a speech? No. Okay, you do your speech first, then you're going to do this. And so through the 8 weeks, by the time you come to the 4th and the 5th week, that's when the quiet ones start to come through. And that's why we have that we have that duration of weeks. So the quiet one gets a chance to break through. And the brighter one get to develop their leadership skills more. So that's why that program is about, in fact, on the other side, is actually helping them to cope with stress, Tom. Yeah, helping them to cope with stress. Yeah, which is a great segment of this conversation, Tom. This is so awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really love how you mentioned that it takes time for different people to catch up to the program in different paces, different speeds. You mentioned 4 or 5 weeks till the shy ones start opening up. I'm curious, how long is your program? So in general, so get people lowering their expectations on themselves. So, oh, I had this one training today and I should be confident now, So they kind of, okay, I may be different. I need a bit of time to actually sort myself out.
Well, didn't they say that if you want to build habit, you need at least a minimum of 21 days or 30 days to build a habit? And so this program we have is 8 weeks. So it's a 2 months program. And it's a 2 months program where the kids gets to do different roles. They get to learn how to give feedback. Everyone gets to learn how to give feedback. They get to stand up and speak a little bit, introduce themselves. My name is Brooke. If they're very shy, they would get up and say, my name is Brooke. They're so fast. They will sit down. And then they get to stand up there to do a report, or they get up there to conduct a meeting or give a speech. So every role expose them to their vulnerability. And also at the same time, encourage them and inspire them, because they're so keen to hear their friend's story, and then inspire them to say, I want to share my story. So then they want to go out there and tell a story and do a speech, and then they get the feedback. They say, oh, it's not that scary after all. And so that really inspires themselves, because we have to ignite the inspiration within them for them to motivate themselves. And that is fundamental. Because sometimes we talk about wanting to motivate kids. Yeah, we can motivate people for short work, but we really want is inspiring, light up their own fire within them, that they have the potential to make a difference for themselves. And that's what we are doing. Yeah.
Sounds great. I was curious, you said the children go through and youth go through the different roles. What do you mean by roles? What kind of roles they're going through?
Oh, we have roles, whether you're an MC or whether you are a time management, you manage the time, you keep record on the time. So everyone gets to speak. Say that if your time allocated is 2 minutes, come 2 minutes, you get the signal rate, time's up. So they learn how to manage time. And then they will also get up to, they ask questions. Say there could be somebody that think of some questions and you ask somebody a question, and then the person goes up there and respond to a question they call random question, called table topic. You do not know what it is. You get up there and speak, and you say, oh, I don't know how to answer. And you encourage them to think on their feet. or the roles like an evaluator or feedback. So they have to give feedback to their peers, or they have to do is, or somebody else have to do a speech. So they, or do a story. So there are so many different roles, or even calling a meeting to order. Those are there's about 10 different roles, and everyone gets to do a role every week. And so there's no say, no, I don't want to do it. No, everyone gets to do a role. And that's how you build your confidence comes from taking action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want to step back a bit from the program, and I'm curious, what motivated and inspired you to start your journey on helping youth? Was there anything specific in your life that happened?
Well, I as a kid was a very shy person that lacked confidence. And I never put up, I miss out a lot in class because I didn't have the confidence to put up my hand. I only put up my hand here. And then when you put up your hand here, nobody could see you. And there's no one to say, come on, kids, put your hand high up, you know. And I never participate, and I always miss out. And when I came from a family of 13 kids, you don't have the time to go home and tell your mom, you miss out on this, you miss out on that. You suck it up yourself. And so as I grew up, never built that confidence. And as an adult, went to work, want to participate in higher role, didn't have the confidence, because you never built the confidence as you're little, never. So missed out again. And then got married, think, oh yeah, that's okay, we'll all go away. It was only until I saw my kids experiencing the same pain that they did not dare to put up their hand. And that's when I said, I need to do something. So when I developed my own confidence, I see the change in my own children. And when I see the change in my own children, they dare to express themselves. And I thought, gee, it's only just start with one person making a difference to one kid. So imagine if I can do this for other children, what could it be like? And that's how we got started doing this program. And so together with my husband and my son, we've been out there doing this program. Well, I mean, we've been doing that for 40 years, so the rest is all just history now. I suppose it's more turning my pain into my passion now. Yeah, that's how we got started.
I love how you said that your change started from yourself and being basically a role model. Is that correct for your children?
Yes, because I didn't want to see, I saw the pain in my children's faces. When, like I say, nobody saw my pain. Like, mom is too busy with 13 kids. I got no time. So when I saw the pain, it's like they're my reflection. Do I want to perpetuate this, for the next generation? And that's when I said, nah, got to stop. It's going to stop with me. So I went to learn public speaking, how to develop my own confidence. And so with that, I took that program that I learned into the school to help to create it for the kids.
So you started your own journey with public speaking? Was that?
Oh yes, yeah. I think I probably has been there for the last 18 years. Last 18 years with public speaking, and that's where I learned to speak and learn to run meeting, learn to be vulnerable, learn to be, even with my heart pounding away, still, nobody need to know. I can tell them afterward, nobody need to know that I'm scared too. Yeah.
And I'm curious, because for most people, public speaking is a quite stressful thing. how do you manage the stress actually going up to the stage and speaking to the people?
I'll tell you my first experience, yeah, Tom. The first time I went into this public speaking hall, I went there, everybody was a stranger. And then, you know, it's like any new club, they're very welcoming. They want to give everybody a chance. So I went there, I put my head down. Don't look at me, you know, you don't make eye contact, don't look at me. And then I heard my own voice say, didn't you come here to build confidence? The moment I look up, the person said, Aileen, can you get up there and speak? It was on a topic I didn't know what to speak, but I don't know what I say, but I went up. And then I came back and I sit down. So then from there on, every time before I speak, I make sure I have water. I always have a water being next to me. So I may get up there, speak, then I sit down and I drink plenty of water. I'm gonna calm my nerve down. And that's how I calm my nerve. And then it can only get better, but it doesn't get better. I just drink more water, you know, that's why here I am, I got plenty of water. Yeah.
If I understood correctly, the motivation to stop the pain with you and not seeing it in children was the one thing that motivated you go out to the stage and build the confidence?
Absolutely. It was seeing the pain in my own children's faces. They were scared, they were frightened. And then it just made me recall my own insecurity, my own pain, my own missing out. And that really motivated me that if there's going to be any change, it's got to start with me. If I can make a break of this pattern, that's what I would do. And that's what I did. And henceforth, I did this for other children because I can see so many of them like me. And so every time when we're at our first session, the kids would put their hand up like this. I said, come on, kids, come on. You know, and keep asking them to do that. And that's how we get the kids. Come on. and so they because I share with them my story, and that's how we can make a difference for the kids. But they all, let me tell you, Tom, they're frightened, they're stressed, they're tired. Some of them, they don't come to the program. I suppose the parents are probably scared too, you know. Oh, yeah. So the kids don't want to come. The parents say, yes, it's okay. But most of the kids would come. But those people that break through are the happiest. At the end of the program, they are the happiest.
Awesome. And I have one question as well. You said that the first time you spoke was really scary and you had loads of stress afterwards. Is it getting any easier by now doing public speaking? I see you still having your water on this interview, so I'm just curious.
The initial thoughts can be scary. But when you're speaking of a subject matter that is passionate, there's no room for fear. It's only passions. And it's like, whatever that you want to do, there's passion that will be coming through. And say that here, we're talking about you. Now it's only passion that's coming through. Or if we're going to talk about cooking, it will be my love that is coming through. If it's going to talk about gardening, my love for gardening will be coming through. So it is that being able to speak just give you so much more opportunity to express deep inside you. When you don't have that, you spend all that energy being so stuck and being fearful and always anticipating, oh, what they're going to ask me, and then unnecessarily building their own stress. Yeah. But I think confidence and stress are quite interrelated, Tom. I think they're so interrelated. Yeah.
Would you like to explain more about how you see the connection between confidence and stress?
Well, if it's not, if somebody have the people that are stressed, they're more concerned about their fear. They're more concerned about their fear. So they'll be anticipating how I'm so scared, I'm so worried, what am I going to say? They're always watching how it's going to appear for them. Where else, when somebody that is coming from a passion, they only want to share all their breakthrough. They want to share what the difference they can make. They want to say, how I can help you, Tom, how I can help the other person. They're no longer about themselves. And when they're no longer about themselves, there is no more fear or stress anymore. Everything is all put aside. It's like, how could I help you to get this program out? How could I turn this whole conversation to serve you? So that all in itself is very interconnected about being out there, helping other people.
I love how you answered that. And it resonates with me a lot because I see it very often, almost every time. Then when people are stressed, they're basically stuck in their head, they're worrying about themselves. And as soon as you get them to shift the focus and attention to people around them, ask for support, or just being among the other people, or seeing that other people are also as scared as they are, they kind of see the different perspective. And that brings me to the next question. Do you bring the level of play into the training you have with the youth, the program you have?
Oh, yes, of course. Of course. So we say, who likes to listen to story? Yeah. Who likes storytelling? So they all love storytelling versus, you're going to get up there and do a speech. We're going to do a speech. Oh, my God. But if it's a story, they can. Or we say that, oh, I do not know what to do. Okay, now tell me, what did you do this morning? So they start talking about themselves and the things that, see, you can do this. So we make it so conversational, or we make it as if it's a plaything, and turn it into say, see, you do have this in you. And because I'm not a big joke person, but I'm more of a conversational person. Let's tell me, what did you do? What did you like? And we bring it down to that level. And then they forget they have to do. And before you know, I identify all the things they're great at. They say, oh, I didn't think of that. And so that helps to ease that tension for those people. And they say, oh, okay, I can do it. Yeah.
I'm curious, you said that you encourage them to tell stories. What kind of stories? Is it like about themselves, or they just make whatever they come? Like, I'm just curious about this part of the exercise.
Oh, okay. Some people love to talk about their football. Yeah. So the moment they say they like sport, okay, tell me the football. Which one is the current and the, I don't know, the football team, you know, the worst, where's the worst sport's going to be? And they start telling you, then they're telling them all the heroes they're following. And it's, oh my God, they go into depth, sorry, you know. But you say, wow, wow. So that immediately you can see them opening up with the story. So when they tell the story, I say, hey, guy, you only got 2 minutes, yeah? You don't have half an hour, 2 minutes. So then when they finish the story, we give them feedback on the way they express themselves. So they don't have to work too hard. So we then give them feedback. Then they say, oh, is that what stories? Is that what the speech is all about? So then they know how to think about the next time they do a second speech. Or we ask them, tell me about your family. Do you know anything about yourself? Yeah. Do you need notes? No. Okay. Start telling us and talk to us about yourself or maybe your dog. And says from there, after they speak, we give them feedback.
Mm.
So that's our first initial state of doing this program. Yeah.
I love your answer. It's so beautiful how to make these associations between what does it mean to have a speech, what does it mean to have a story, and just starting with this really small thing. And there's another question I always love to ask at some point to my guests here is, what's your take on love your stress? Do you agree with it?
What's your take on love your stress?
Yes.
Yeah. What's your take to love your stress? Oh, well, I think probably because of the amount of inner work that I have done for myself, I can understand and appreciate the question. Mm-hmm. What do you love about your stress? But if I had never done any inner work, I will be cursing and swearing and blaming everybody for them causing me all this problem. Having a conversation with you is so stressful. You're causing me all this stress. I will probably blame it on the other person. Yeah. But because I've done so much work, by saying to love your stress is I take responsibility for the stress that I have on myself. I then have the power to change it. I then have the power to say, how do I want to accumulate more? Do I want to have more added on? Or how could I do things differently? Then I could then break the pattern and change that. Until I have ownership of the stress, there's nothing I can do. So I love the statement, love your stress, love your problem, you have ownership, you can solve the problem.
It's a very beautiful answer. And is there anything else you would love to share? Because I'm already thinking about wrapping this podcast up. There's 2 more questions, and one of them is there anything you would love to share for the youth, for the stress, or anything along the lines? Any tips?
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity and for actually giving the voice for the youth to really understand that it really starting with them having a voice to be able to express themselves. By having a voice, you already have an outlet. You're no longer in your head. You come from your heart, so you have an outlet of expressing. And the more they do it, the more confident they build, so that as they grow up as an adult, they have that skill. So the level of stress that they're going to build is they can learn how to manage that. It's lesser. And I love the second thing is that I love when you ask the question, how do you love your stress? Because when you can love your stress, you can take ownership. And it's like, now if we teach this to the younger people, if you have a problem, love your problem. Then you can overcome any of your problem. And Tom, I just want to say, Tom, this has been an awesome segment, just having a chat with you. I think anyone have a stress should come and see you, should really get to say, know what is it, so that you could help them to solve a stress. Because the burden that if you don't work on your stress, it will cause your body to have a malfunctions. It will cause you hemorrhage. It will cause tensions. It will cause migraine. It will cause relationship. It will cause the way that you want to innovate, to cause the way that you want to inspire and help other people. So I think anybody that has stress should come and see you, because you can help them to overcome that, Tom. So thank you so much, Tom. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much as well. And another question, for the people who want to reach out to you, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Well,
and for what reasons? How would, if if someone wants to have a training or whatever. So what would be the reasons for people to reach out to you, and what's the best way?
Okay. The very likely people that will probably want to reach us is probably parents who want to have this program for their children. They will probably be the one that want to reach out to us to find out how they could have this program at the children's school. The second one is trainers, people that wants to who love working with children, who are empathetic, who wants to train children and making a difference to you. They will be the trainers that wants to do that. There will be people that wants to sponsor this program, who saying that I didn't have it when I was older, but maybe I can now make a difference to children. So they could be the people that could sponsor. The other one is the school that wants to run this program and do not have it in their school. They will be the 4 types of different people that wants to do that. So they can reach me on LinkedIn. And I think most of us are posting in LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, they can do that. Or they get in touch with you, Tom, and then you can, you know where to find me. That would be the best one.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
And the very final question is, do you have any recommendations for the next guest I could invite on a podcast that you believe would give valuable insights about stress in any area of life?
In any area of life, do you want somebody that is, do you want to reach out to business owners, entrepreneurs, or do you want coaches? What's
anyone that comes to
the first person? Or you want a you?
So usually the best answer is the first one that comes to mind, following intuition. So if there's any person coming in your mind, that's the person. Well,
I was thinking either my husband, who is a business owner, they have a great level of stress, or maybe my younger son, who is in his mid-20s, maybe those mid-20s, how do they cope with stress in life? Yeah, so maybe my younger son, Ashley, he's 29 years old, and how does he cope with stress?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, because I think maybe you have a younger audience, maybe there would be a person to connect with. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Aileen. It was a real pleasure having you on this podcast, and have fun.
So thanks, Tom. Thanks, Tom, for having me, and all the best to your program. I think you're wonderful. You're a wonderful host. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. Smile and be present.